So, Abraham has this great experience with God where God promises him, I'm going to be faithful to you even when you fail.
Znači, Bog doživljava ovu posebnu situaciju u kojoj Bog kaže ja ću ti biti vjeran bez obzira na tebe.
God says, I'm going to keep you even though you're not perfect.
Gdje Bog kaže ja ću te zadržati iako nisi savršen.
What's the very next chapter, chapter 16?
Šta se dešava u sljedećem poglavlju, u 16. poglavlju?
Chapter 16 is where Sarah gets tired of waiting for a child.
U 16. poglavlju Sari dojadi čekati dijete.
So she says, Abraham, sleep with my servant Hagar and have a child with her.
I ona kaže Abrahamu, Abrahame, spavaj sa mojom sluškinjom Hagar. Ona će ti roditi dijete.
Abraham here is just like Adam and Eve are in Genesis chapter 3.
I Abraham ovdje je isti kao i Adam i Eva u 3. poglavlju.
Because he doesn't trust God to give him what God has promised.
Jer on ne vjeruje da će mu Bog dati ono što je obećao.
And so he and Sarah decide to get it for themselves.
I onda on i Sara odlučuju da će oni sami intervenirati.
Just like Adam and Eve did back in Genesis.
Baš kao što su i Adam i Eva odlučili intervenirati u 3. poglavlju.
You have the story in Genesis 17 of circumcision.
Imate priču o obrezanju u 17. poglavlju.
You have the story of Sodom and Gomorrah in chapter 18 and 19.
Imate priču o Sodomi i Gomori u 18. i 19. stoljeću.
Abraham and his entourage continue to wander around.
Abraham i njegova svita i dalje lutaju po pustinji.
And you have this king, Abimelech.
I dolazite do tog kralja Abimeleka.
And Abraham says to his wife Sarah,
I Abraham kaže svojoj ženi Sari,
who's got to be in her 80s by now,
koja vjerojatno sad ima nekih 80 godina.
Sarah, you're so beautiful, they're going to kill me and steal you.
Sara, ti si tako lijepa da će me ubiti da bi ukrali tebe.
So don't say you're my wife, say you're my sister.
Zato nemoj reći da si moja žena, reci da si moja sestra.
He's still afraid.
On se i dalje boji.
He still doesn't trust that God will protect him.
On i dalje ne vjeruje da će ga Bog zaštititi.
Do you see how Abraham here in 16 and in 20 is just like Adam and Eve in chapter 3?
Vidite li kako je on u ovim recima isti kao Adam i Eva?
It's the same failure of trusting in God.
To je onaj isti nedostatak povjerenja u Boga.
Now, throughout all of these episodes where Abraham fails to trust in God,
kroz sve te epizode gdje Abraham ne uspijeva vjerovati Bogu,
does God get mad and reject him?
Desi li se ikada da se Bog razljuti i da ga odbaci?
Does God throw him away?
Je li ga Bog odbacio u bilo kojem trenutku?
No. Why not?
Ne. Zašto ne?
Because God promised, I'm going to keep you even though you're not perfect.
Zato što je Bog obećao, zadržat ću te iako nisi savršen.
I'm not going to let go of you no matter how much you fail.
Neću te pustiti koliko god ti padao.
Because God says, you belong to me.
Jer Bog kaže, ti pripadaš meni.
You're mine.
Ti si moj.
And he not only keeps Abraham, he continues to bless Abraham.
I ne samo da ga zadržava, nego ga nastavlja blagosiljati.
Abraham is so wealthy by this part of the story that people treat him like a king.
Do ovog dijela priče je Abraham toliko bogat da ga ljudi tretiraju kao kralja.
Because God is keeping his promise.
Jer Bog održava svoje obećanje.
Okay. Now Isaac is born finally.
Konačno se rađa Izak.
Isaac, yeah. When Abraham is 100 and Sarah is 90 something.
Kada je Abraham imao 100 godina, a Sara imala 90 i nešto.
Paul says Abraham believed that God could make dead things come to life.
Pavao je rekao, Abraham je vjerovao da Bog može učiniti da mrtvo oživi.
And I think that's certainly part of the story here, and then it's part of the story in the next chapter.
I mislim da to definitivno ima veze sa ovom pričom.
Where God tests Abraham by telling him to kill Isaac.
A i sa drugim dijelom pričom gdje Bog kuša Abrahama i kaže mu da mora ubiti Izaka.
Abraham's story finally winds down. He finds a son for Isaac.
He finds a son.
Finds a wife, for Isaac.
Abraham u sljedećem dijelu priče pronalazi ženu za Izaka.
And then he buys a grave for Sarah when she dies.
Kupuje grob za Saru kada ona umre.
And then Abraham dies in Genesis chapter 25.
I u 23. poglavlju Postanka umire Abraham.
And he and his wife Sarah are buried together
I on i njegova žena Sara pokopani su zajedno.
in this cave that he bought to be their
U toj pećini koju on kupio da bude njihova grobnica.
When the story of Abraham dies, how much land does he own?
Kada Abraham umire, koliko zemlje posjeduje? Zero.
He owns the grave that he is buried in.
Vlasnik je samo groba u kojem je ukopan.
That's all the land that he owns. He and his wife have wandered with their flocks and herds for 60, 70, 80 years.
Znači, on i njegova cijela obitelj lutali su 60, 70 godina, nikada nisu imali svoju zemlju.
Now, God promised him, I'm going to show you a land and I'm going to give it to you and your family.
I Bog mu je obećao, ja ću ti pokazati zemlju koju ću dati tebi i tvojoj obitelji.
And the only land he owns is the grave that he's buried in.
A jedina zemlja koju posjeduje je ona u kojoj je pokopan.
But God promised.
Ali Bog je obećao.
And Abraham, the writer of Hebrews, says
I pisac Hebrejima kaže
that Abraham just figured that God would someday give that land to his children.
Da je Abraham pretpostavio da će Bog jednog dana tu zemlju dati njegovoj djeci.
And Abraham quit looking for a home here on this earth.
I prestao je tražiti zemlju ovdje na kugli zemaljskoj.
Because he decided the only home that he really needed was a home with God.
Jer je odlučio da jedini dom koji mu treba je onaj dom s Bogom.
It's a beautiful picture of faith.
To je jedna divna slika vjere.
Okay. Abraham has several of these great experiences with God.
Abraham je doživio nekoliko velikih trenutaka vjere u svom životu.
And he fails God still multiple times after.
A ipak je nakon njih iznevjerio Boga.
And yet God never rejects him. God never throws him away.
No ipak Bog ga se nikad nije odrekao, nikad nije okrenuo leđa.
Because God promised, you belong to me.
Jer je Bog obećao, ti pripadaš meni.
And I belong to you, and I'm going to take care of you.
I ja pripadam tebi i brinut ću se za tebe.
No matter what.
Bez obzira na sve.